On today's video, we got a fire chat with a solar pro. Once again, today we're going to be talking about everything a new person that's getting in the solar industry should know about before they start selling solar. So Eric, thank you so much for hopping back on the channel, bro. So let's talk about, I know you've made the transition from the doors to over the phone sales. I want to talk about what are the steps that people should take before they decide to get into solar, or what are the things that they should consider before they start to sell solar?
Yeah, so the first thing is working with the right company. There is hundreds and hundreds of solar companies probably in the same state as that you live in, and they'll all install solar, but most of them won't do a great job. A lot of them are small companies that really just don't have the cash flow to actually install jobs and pay the reps on time and take care of the homeowner. So it's really important that you actually work with a company that has skin in the game, so that way you don't have to worry about any of those things, because the last thing you want to do is sign up a homeowner with a company that just doesn't care about them, because then you just ruined your relationship with them and everybody that they know that they would have referred to you. Really important to go with a company that will provide that kind of support for you and your team. Otherwise, it can go south really quickly, and before you know it, you might start hating solar like I did. Like what happened for me was I came in the industry, I made a bunch of money, I also got screwed out of a lot more money than I made, and so I started to despise solar because of it. I got out of the industry and then I came back in, and since I came back in, I've only worked with one company. It's SunPower, and they did 1.7 billion last year, so they have the funds to pay, and their support's amazing and everything's great, right? So now I love solar again. It's really just about the company you keep and making sure that they're going to take care of you and that you're sure of it. And definitely do your due diligence. Don't just put a bunch of deals through a company that's not going to do what they say that they're going to do, because that you're wasting your time, your reputation, and your career.
Yeah, like I always say, when you start out with an installer, with a brand new installer that you've never worked with before, you got to test them out. Like, you can't just put in all your eggs in one basket and just be like, oh, I'm just gonna spend all this money on ads, and I'm gonna go ahead and just put 10, 20 deals on that installer, and then not even know what's gonna happen to your deals. That's how a lot of people just go under and they give up on the solar opportunity that we all have. So how important do you think is a mentor when getting in the solar industry, if you're thinking about, somebody who doesn't know anything about solar to now wanting to start selling solar?
It's extremely important. I would argue it's as important as the installer aspect. If you don't know, how are you going to know what to do? It's just going to take you that much longer to actually get to where you want to go without the right information. For me, if I had a mentor that did what I did and knew what I know now, and I met them when I first got in the industry, I would have cut my learning curve by years, and I would have been further ahead that much quicker. It's all about not banging your head against the wall and instead learn from somebody else's mistakes. Dude, they already took years to make a lot of mistakes and lost probably a lot of money along the way. Why don't you just link up with them and either be on their team, pay them for mentorship, or just show them that you're loyal and that you want to go all out and work for them. And I guarantee you, they'll probably pour so much into you that you're going to come out someone so much more capable of what you ever thought, that it's just going to propel your success that much quicker.
I know mindset is a huge thing and when you're getting into any type of business venture, but especially in solar, I know you have to have the right mindset and the work ethic, most of all, to persevere and to not give up and to see things all the way to fruition. Because a lot of times when you get with the wrong company, that's why, to your point with the mentor, if you did have a mentor, point you in the right direction, even with the company, right? So now you know which company would actually pay you out, so you won't go in the red. But talk about work ethic, bro. Talk about how important work ethic is in solar and what's required really to do damage in the industry.
Yeah, so at the end of the day, no one's coming to save you. Even if you have a great mentor, he's not going to go out there and close deals for you and do all the work for you. He might close your deals for you, but he's not going to do all the work for you. So you got to adopt that mentality that you eat what you kill. And so you got to go out there and be willing to just fail. The quicker you fail, the quicker that you actually get to that next level of where you're looking to go. And if you're not getting rejected, if you're not failing on a daily basis every single day, and to the point where you just want to quit, then you're not heading in the right direction. It's all about just leaning into that uncomfortable fear of, man, what happens if I don't, sell anything and I can't pay my bills. Use that as fuel to where you're out. Whether if you don't have any money, you're probably knocking doors. doors. That's whatever. I did the same thing when I started. You better be out there 10 to 12 hours a day and using that as fuel, because you might only get 1 to 2 deals that week. But if you make $8,000 and you knocked on 100 doors a day, 500 a week, you got paid a lot of money to knock on 500 doors. If you sell 2 deals at $7,000 commission, that's $14,000 to knock 500 doors. So if I said, hey, go knock 500 doors, you'll make 14 grand, but you won't see the money because you'll only get it from 2 of them. 2 out of the 500 people, you probably do it, right? So that's exactly the mentality you got to adopt.
And I say it all the time, like, because I have a mentorship program where we actually show people how to get started in solar. Like, we teach them how to generate leads, we teach them the sales process, we teach them, pretty much like what states to sell in, what companies to go with and things like that. We even set them up with an installer and what have you. But I'm like, I can show you everything, bro, but I can't teach you work ethic. That's something that I cannot possibly do. It's something that is gonna come from within. Like, if you don't want to make more than $10,000 a month, or if that's your cap, then there's nothing that I can do. And that's why we're all different at the end of the day. But that's awesome, man. So talk about the integrity, because a lot of people, what I've heard, especially from new people that are getting in the industry, is like, why is it that if you and I talk about solar to somebody who's brand new, they're like, bro, of course, like, solar just makes sense. So why do you think there's a resistance from homeowners to, I say there's like a negative stigma or like a connotation around solar, but why do you think that is though? Why do you think it's not so much of an easy sale? And I know you said that in a way it is an easy sell if people are willing to listen. But why do you think more people are not willing to listen, even though the install rate across America is like only 4% right now? It's wild, There's still like 28 million single family homes to be installed on, which is, I get goosebumps thinking about that, What are your thoughts on that, bro? What are your thoughts on, why isn't it so easy to find people that will actually sit down and listen?
Well, there's a lot of companies that have come into the solar industry and just not done the right thing. And so now all those people that you're talking to have an aunt or uncle or brother or sister that's gotten screwed over by one of those companies that knocked on their door and said, hey, you're paying $400 a month. Oh my gosh, I could get that down to like $250, and it's going to cover all of your power. When in fact, it actually only covered like maybe 50 to 70% of their power. So now they tell everybody that they know that solar is a scam because, oh, they told me I was going to get all my power covered. Now I got this $250 a month solar bill, and I'm paying $150 to the power company, and now I'm paying more than what I was doing before. And so us solar pros that are actually selling with integrity and ethics and want to do the right thing have to basically overcome that for all the people that have done the wrong thing. The sale goes much further than just when they sign the docs in the home or on the phone for that first time that they sign them, right? We still got to come out and do a site survey. After they do the site survey, there might be some stipulations to where they have to move panels around. Maybe they can't do the same system size. So now you got to call back the homeowner and change it up, maybe sell them a few less panels for a different price, and it can really mix some things up. So now you got to make that sale, right? The next sale is just getting through from the point of sale to the install, right? So just, obviously they go through the design, they submit that, they get the permit back, right? So there can be a time span of like 1 to 3 months, sometimes more depending on where you're selling, for when the glass hits the roof. So it's really important that you did a good job in that presentation and that you left the homeowner with zero uncertainty, because even if you told them, hey, John, this could take up to 3 months, man. Even if you told them that when you sold them, in 2 months, if he has any ounce of uncertainty in you or the product or the process because you didn't explain something, then he might cancel because oh my God, he might text you, oh my, this is taking 2 months. You guys don't have panels. Yeah, but I told you it was going to be 3 months, and there's some other uncertainty in there that you probably left uncovered. So it's really important just to make sure that you're doing the right thing. When I first got into solar, I come from the insurance industry. So there's a lot of hard closing, I would say, in the insurance industry, more so than a lot of others that I've seen. So I tried to take that same mentality into solar. And what happened is it backfired, right? So a lot of projects got canceled because people were, you're just trying to hard sell them. Solar isn't one of those things that you want to, I would say, push someone into. You want to build the type of relationship to where they want to do business with you. And, a lot of people nowadays, what's happened is because of this companies coming in and just ruining people's systems, what's happened is a lot of these homeowners are now getting bids from like 5, 6, 7 companies, whereas like years ago, they would just sign with you because they thought that solar was great. But now the word is out. So there's so much more competition now that, you just got to make sure that you're outperforming every other solar rep. And how you do that is becoming educated. Most just aren't educated. So you're competing with a bunch of average people that don't actually know how to explain how it works. And that's why they might get a lot of sales, but they don't get a lot of glass on the roof. And that's really what it's all about, is getting the glass on the roof, getting the system turned on, making sure that you're communicating with the homeowner from point of sale to install. Because if you're not updating them along the way, and everything that you're saying as you're updating them along the way doesn't match up with what you said to them when you initially sold them, they're going to immediately have doubt, and you just given them a reason to cancel. So just make sure that you're lining up all of your actions, what you say, with exactly what you do. Otherwise, you might have a high cancel rate. And for me this year, our teams had under a 5% cancel rate just from doing that.
That's freaking awesome. All right, once again, that was it. And for anyone who's new to the channel, make sure you subscribe and hit the bell so you get notified every time there's a new upload. All right, thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you again in the next video.